this is Shaughnessy again with the Eastern Iowa Arts Academy. And today's prompt, I'm very excited about it. Today's prompt, we're going to talk about choosing and coming up with and developing and owning your own style. And we're going to talk about we're going to start thinking about that by thinking about a single color. So one of my favorite books, a book that I love and enjoy very much, is called Bluets by Maggie Nelson. It's hard to see. And it's just a book with these numbered little sections. There's a lot of them. It's probably, 240, 250 little numbered sections. And everything in here is sort of like a meditation and a thoughts and stories about the color blue. So this whole book is sort of a love poem to the color blue, which I think is just so interesting and so fun and fascinating. So in your art journal today, or in your practice today, you're going to think about a single color, or the things that color expresses, and how do I feel when I'm wearing that color, and how does it, when I'm in a room that's that color, what does it sort of do for me, and all those things. So we're going to spend a little bit of time today just thinking through color. And so here's our page for today. You probably have guessed I'm following Maggie Nelson's footsteps and thinking about the color blue today. So here, wearing blue, I've got my blue bracelet on. I'm really wanting to sort of dive into thinking about the color blue. And so when we think about our own personal style when it comes to art or music or fashion or any of those types of very personal style type things, sometimes it can be hard to know what your own style is. And maybe you have other people, maybe there's people on Instagram that you like, or celebrities whose style that you enjoy, or a particular painter or artist whose style you really like. And we start by like maybe copying them, or maybe there's something that like is very popular in, in your group of friends. And that's all great. But what we're going to talk about a little bit is how to differentiate between what other people like and what you like. And sometimes those are the same things. Sometimes we like what a lot of people like because it's really cool. And sometimes it's a little different, and we have to sort of branch out in some interesting directions on our own, thinking about what we like. And the things that we are sort of attracted to visually. What do we like to look at? What do we like to think about? What do we like, kind of music do we like? And maybe it depends a little bit on your mood. Today I might pick blue, but tomorrow if I was doing this, I might choose a different color. Maybe I would think about yellow or like hot pink or something else, depending on what my mood was in that day. If you're looking at someone's fashion, what is it their necklace that's interesting to you, or is it the lines of their jacket that you think are great, or is it the contrast or the bold colors? If you're looking at a piece of art, are you more interested in things that look realistic, or are you more interested in things that are very sort of bold and unique, right? So think about just collecting the things that you notice as a first step. Instead of using white or black gesso to prep my page, I've just used a blue acrylic. And when I prep the page for this, just a regular blue acrylic, I usually try to get and I'm doing a color, I usually try to get it very wet. So it's a very sort of translucent, I can still see the words through it because I like that look. I like that layering of one thing on top of another thing on top of another thing. That layering is what sort of gives it a lot of depth to your art journal. Also going to kind of explore today some different textures and patterns. And I'm getting those on this page by using this tool. I just sort of had it laying around and I was like, let's figure this out. So it just has some different like little teeth. You would use it to make a little stripy pattern like this. And I'm using it as sort of a stamp. So I'm dipping this tool in the paint and just sort of putting it on my page, and it's making these fun little, you can see a little bit more close, they sort of look matrixy, right? And these fun little lines, I'm just doing them in vertical lines. If you don't have one of these, anything, I mean, you could use a sponge. Sponge gives you interesting textures. You can use a toilet paper or a paper towel tube. These are really fun. You sort of dip them. Also, you get and then press them and you get sort of a bunch of circular shapes. You could paint and roll it. You could paint on here and roll it out with this. Find something different. As you're working through your color, as you're putting your color on the page and all of its different sort of shades and tones, what is coming to your head? Like, what is this making you think about? And then we can think about perhaps adding some words or some drawings or something else to this page to add to it. But we're going to start with just one color. The tool that I had, it looks pretty cool. I like the texture that's coming up. And all these different blues, all these different sort of hues and shades of blue. My next step, I have some blue ink, so not paint, but ink, and I'm gonna, instead of using like an ink or like a calligraphy pen, I'm going to just use a paintbrush, and I'm going to use the paintbrush and sort of write with this blue ink here once this dries. So, this is the time to experiment and try things out and see what happens and have some fun with it. So, all right, I will see you soon. Bye-bye.